going down for my check of what they've done here on my wall project for the road. 6 o'clock this morning, I received quite a few emails, especially about of someone trespassing in their land. Even though how many times they told him not to do, put his carabaos in their fence property, but he still do it. Actually, you should know that trespassing is a common crime here in the Philippines, because the Filipinos have a notion that if you're not using the land, they can temporarily use it. So this is what you're up against about your land. Even though you fence it and they found that you're not using it, they'll break the fence and then build any shanties or whatever that they can do there, or even harvest the fruits, harvest the vegetables, what crops that they think was just left behind. And so what's the reason why I'm fencing, even though I was planning to do it 6 months after, is that very reason of trespassing. And I'm doing it on the side here of the old man's land, because this is where I believe the trespassing will be taking place. So I'm here now and see what Junelle is digging. So this is the side that we're gonna be doing the wall first. It's gonna be 4 to 5 files, and then 2.9 meter each. There will be a column, so they're just digging the beam, because we're gonna put a beam underneath. And you know, this pipe, eventually I'll be putting a column here, because as of the moment, this is the marker of the boundary. This is, look behind it is the monument of from the geodetic engineer of the measurement. So this is what we're digging so far, is the ditch where we're gonna put the beam. Then on the beam we will be filing the wall. So every column is 60 cm by 60 cm deep, so a 60 cm square, because you gotta remember it's only carrying max will be 5, and then there's a beam underneath, and there will be a horizontal rebar as well on the middle. Every 3 piles there will be a horizontal rebar. So this is the ditch that we have created so far since this morning, while Julito and Daloy was continuing to pick up the hollow blocks. So you can see them there filing the hollow blocks on the side of the road. So today we can call first day of walling. So the purpose that we do it this way first, because so many reasons. Then we can take out the remaining earth that's on the side of the old man, because as you can see, he's been moaning to the backhoe operator that he wants the dirt off. And another one is their habit of throwing their rubbish just outside their house, although they know that every Friday the garbage here is collected, but they seem to be used to just throwing the rubbish there, and it's all falling on the side of my land that I bought from them. And two is on the side of the bungalow, there's like rocks keep on sliding off on that side. And I want to address the complaint that too much panning on my footage, because sometimes you cannot notice of it when you're the one you're giving instructions, you're talking to your people or talking to someone, and then you just forgot about the panning. So I will again make an effort to be conscious of the panning of the camera. So here, so from this side where Janelle is starting to get to dig the column, because I told him so he can start filing. There will be from that pipe, that's a column, but that will be the last one that we do because we need that marker for the line. And then 2.9, 2.9, so there will be 3 that he'll be doing here. So this will be like the last bit, the third column. He's now digging for the 60 by 60 cm and 60 deep. Ang gilaw mundong 60, 60 ba? 60. Then before he can continue digging on, then because what I like, it will be dried up, and then we can take out this earth that's on the side of the old man's remaining property, so he will have nothing to moan about. Kaning mga tuod ba ato niya nang dalon dito, ini mabot na kadi dapita ting, because like I said, this root crops here, our root balls rather, should be taken on our side, because it's taken from the roots, the plants from this side, because before somebody else will be the one cutting it off, because the Deloy is using it as firewood. So this is what we are so far. This is the morning. We are now starting to build the wall, and they are there filing the hollow blocks. So this is the deepness of our column holes for the fence. It will be every 2.9 meters. That's 60 by 60 by 60. So 60 width, 60 square, and 60 deepness. So, but like I said, it will just be carrying, the maximum will be 3 to 4 files of hollow block, and then that's it. But I want the column to be cemented, and will be carrying the fence extra. Both sides will be cemented into the fence. The sterling mats, like I don't know if what you call it in, like a chicken wire but bigger one, sterlings. So that will be the column. There will be a matting, and this will be the line of the beam before we file the hollow blocks. So every 2.9 meters he will be digging another one in the middle, but this is what he done first, because this will be the end, and then he'll start doing the beam, because I want them to do it as they go, not dig it all and there's nothing done, and then the dirt will, if it rains, the dirt will go back in. So while we know that it's sunny today, he can dig another column there and another there, and then pour it up, pour the beams and the column footings. Then it will be done. So even if it rains, the dirt won't go back in. The beams are already there, and the matting will be poured. So that's it, and then another will be there, because I like it with beams before we pile any hollow blocks. These are all here in my area where I stock all the materials. So Deloy right now is sacking all the sifted gravel from the fine sand that we've taken out to render the budget bungalow. So that's what we're doing. And we will carry in the multi-cab, and while old Lito is here bending the tiles. Oh, not bending the rebars for the rings. Unsa man na? And then Junel is cutting through the cut-off machine. So this is where I want the materials to be stored up, because this is what you see here. This is the cover part. These are the cement. I take it away from my storehouse, my store area, the curb part there, because the dogs is opening up the cement, like trying to scratch it over. So here we are. This is the bending area. We just extended here on our sitting area. There. So he's making the rings for the beams, because I'm gonna put a proper beam under the before we file the blocks, so you can see the beams over. So this is it, that you can see this is where we file all the sand and gravel. So this is gonna be my working workshop, and you can see the multi-cab there, and the Galoy. And then, so look, we have an extension done just to use the power tools, but it's make it faster. So one multi-cab, that's 45 sacks that it can create, one multi-cab. So it for the sand, so it will mean that I paid 450 per cab, so that's 10 pesos per sack. That's the measurement for the mix of the muck. So there's Junel doing the rebars, and there is a view. So you can see it's very windy here. I think it's gonna rain tonight, but at least our cement is already covered up. We covered it like this, so it's safe from the rain. There. So you can see my dogs there looking through. But a lot of the mangoes still falling off because there's a wind last night. So here we are in the site after I've done my business down in the city. So Junel is now getting ready for pouring this. So I need to hold the measuring tape. So, inches mo? cm. At dire sa kolom.
I-down ko naman. Ana.
So this is what we're gonna be doing. We'll make a beam first, a proper beam, and then the column will be put in, so the beam will cross on the column. Musod ang column, ang beam sa column, murag cross ba, make it stronger. Then the pile of the hollow block will be on top of the beam. So we're gonna have 3 columns here. Nya ang gilagyon sa ako andong stir up. Ma-adjust raman sa noon na. So we're still preparing the metal work, and we have dug 3 column holes. Then tomorrow we'll be doing this here, pour it out. Dala na dito. So that's column 1, 60 cm, 60 cm deep. And this one here, the whole thing is the beam. So the beam will be poured on top of this. Then before we continue on, the actual beam will be crossing to the columns. So that's the beam. We'll pour it and then we'll now make the vertical ready to pile on the blocks on the top. It's not gonna be so many lines, 4 or 5 will be max, but I think where the bungalow is, if you look at the bungalow side, I'll have higher there just to block them all off. What's this? Dogs. Because these dogs attacks animals. So I think I'll get it higher where the bungalow is, so I won't be seeing their dirt, and also because it can be all the same then and that high and then go back again, because I've seen like different fence, like the height of the walling, it got different size, because otherwise if it's just 5 from where it is, it will be just in level with their flooring there. I want it higher. So yeah, I know a few of my viewers have understood why I'm fencing now. And yeah, I don't want to give them any access to here. Like they can pass through here. Why should I? They have their own access there before they start using it as their own. Like what if you give them access towards their house, and when my renters be here cannot even go through the road because it has to pass through their vehicles of their friends. So no, I'll be walling everything without their access to them. So this is how it looks like here from the main road. I'm standing across, so you can see that's the main road. Then you can swing in. So that's the, so they're fighting over the dog that's on heat. So I'm going back up to see the lads of what they're doing. I don't want them to be taking any rebars or anything that can be stolen. It's only 4 o'clock, so everything stays there, and we'll take that over tomorrow. So any rings, any columns or beams that they have made shall be done tomorrow when we are there. And before we even finish tomorrow, we make sure that it's cemented and make it awkward for anyone to steal it. That's what my instruction to them. Because if it's not followed, I'll pull out the rebars myself. But I think they know what I'm trying to tell them, that when we do something, do it there, so we don't have to worry. Like we do it in the morning, so it's got hard for them to steal it. We'll shape the things here in my party place, and then we take it down. So these are the rings that we're gonna wrap around the beams, but we will just pour it all tomorrow, assemble it all, then so we can pour it before we leave. And that will be the columns that we will make sure that it goes through the beams. The beams will go through it. So we'll shape it all tomorrow, not now because we cannot leave it overnight. So here we are, still doing the bending of the stirrups for the beams, because you will see that I'm gonna be making a proper beam this time, not just what we did in the budget bungalow where Tony was doing just 2 pieces of rebars as beams. But this time the road is my project, so it will be properly done. And you will see when I poured everything, beam, columns, I'll be using a vibrator to vibrate the column so it will be properly, there is no gaps. The reason that I didn't use it on the budget bungalow because I don't want to be buying the diesel as well and be bothered with using a vibrator when they're used to just the local way of doing columns and beams. So in my rental bungalows, you will see that everything will be vibrated. Everything is done, if not more to the standard. The columns will be dug deeper, and I want it safe like my castle is. So here Junelle is cutting it here, and Deloy, I told Deloy to get me some lemons because I told you we have some plants all around. Like there's the chilies again are growing back. So we got loads of lemons around. We're near my bedroom, so I want him to get some. There's another lemon tree here because I surround my house with lemon trees because it helps with the mosquitoes. There's so many mangoes is falling because it was raining and windy last night, but I know the cement is safe. Here we're covering it up. I can't put it on my storeroom, of course. The dogs are there opening up everything. So that's one multi-cab. That's the sacks. So this is now my working area here, and this is where I'm gonna do all the rebars and everything on the budget bungalow. Oh, not on the rental bungalow, sorry, because nobody will be watching it there. And the rule is we won't leave it until it's poured. We won't leave any rebars exposed. So this is the matting that we're gonna put on there's 3 in here because we have the 3 area for the column. So this is gonna be poured tomorrow when we assemble the column as it goes through the beam that we're gonna create. So we're gonna put it all in the multi-cab and carry the things that we need. So we have the tire wires. I bought another 5 kilos of tire wires. Okay, I'm stepping on a mango. So here we are on this workplace. It's the mango that keep falling off. I will eventually make this tidier here because then I put a roof so the mangoes won't be on the way. Luna! So that's the matting, that's the rebars that we have. So far we don't stock so much because we can pick it up anytime. So like if next week I'll be buying another more rebars. Then if we don't have so much, then you're more likely to use some of the like 1 meter length there, already cut rebars, extra from the budget bungalow. So these are the sand and gravel ready for tomorrow. I let the old Tony and Fredo use that cut off once, but they don't seem confident with it. Like when you go back, they go back to the just doing a hacksaw. So I did not insist anymore, or because they can't even change the blade, I had to change the blade myself. So they're just used to the traditional doing. So from where old Lito is standing, and this is the view that he can see.